Good morning, pharmacy. Good morning. Okay, let's start. Like what I said, this is a new topic for everybody, okay? Not entirely new because it's some sort of practical, because it's business math. I call it money math. So you pretty much have an idea what it is, especially if you work in retail. You are currently working in retail, okay? I give you a packet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay? It's a 5-page worksheet but a packet, a lecture packet, which summarizes business math. So simple, okay? The reference is right there. This is an old packet. I like using it because it is explaining it step by step, especially the terminologies like markup, discount, which will be covered. Okay. Other terminologies. This one packet is not a general business math packet. This is an application to pharmacy. Okay. So we're going to go over basic bookkeeping or accounting first. Okay. So you understand some of the terminologies. But then for today, it's mostly markup and discount. We're going to start off with real life first, like socks, radio, t-shirt, whatever it is. Do you even know what a radio is? Okay. Because now it's a podcast, right? Okay. And you have all this streaming, audio streaming devices now. The old days during Sal's time, it was radio, like a physical radio. Okay. Not with an alarm clock. That's a separate appliance or equipment from the alarm clock. But anyway, I'd like you to go over the first page with some of the terminologies, okay? And then we're going to incorporate that to pharmacy as we move on. Average wholesale price, you know what day supply is, depreciation, discount. Dispensing fee is important for you to highlight because this is something not normal or not ordinary in a retail setting unless you're in a pharmacy. Okay, so dispensing fee is specific to pharmacy. Gross profit, your inventory class, inventory maintenance starts Wednesday next week, which leads me to say finals is Tuesday for both your pharmacology and math.
So we're having both finals.
I'd like to do mine on a Monday so that I usually like to separate if I'm teaching both classes. I'll have to ask Ms. Jaylene if she wants to do hers earlier. No? Okay. Do you want both? Both classes same day? Both? Okay.
That's fine.
Well, in the old days, students don't like 2 tests in one day, so I split it to 1 day math or pharmacology the next day or vice versa. You want both days? Okay, then it's Tuesday. I don't have a problem.
No, I was just asking for clarification. I was like, okay, so we are taking both of them on Tuesday. I don't want to take
Okay. Officially, finals is Tuesdays. The only reason I've been splitting the 2 classes when I used to teach both classes is because I don't want to burden the students with 2 tests a day, especially if the math is difficult, like the students are saying, oh, it's allegation. And then it's a pharmacology class where there's a lot of drugs. But know that officially, your instructors can post your grades 3 days after the official end date of class. Though Ms. Shea and I are pretty much good at posting grades the day after at least. We don't have that problem. We're not one of the instructors that chase for grades. Yes?
When can we see our math grade?
Math. Oh, it's still with Ms. Jaylene. She hasn't handed it to me. So I'll check it today after she handed it to me. I don't know where she put it. So it's not in my drawer yet. I don't want to go through her stuff. Okay. So once she just forgot, probably. She just forgot to hand it to me. But But we were here yesterday, and then I did a site visit yesterday at Walgreens for one of our students. He's doing good. The pharmacist and everybody else he's working with has just so many good things to say about him. So I was teasing him, saying that, are they describing somebody else? Because he bombed his first site.
Oh.
Really did. And he was the first one we sent in there for the first time we've seen a Pima student. Yeah, so it wasn't good the first rotation because he was always late. He's always on his phone. Yeah, so we had to talk to him. We had to remedy that problem. We had to talk to the site. I guess you guys called it burnt. They got burned for our first student, but then they really didn't feel that because we tried to remedy it. Not always the case. Sometimes we burn sites like that. So this one, after the discussion, it was a totally different person, like a totally different person. Pharmacist said he's never late. He's always here a few minutes early. Everybody loves working with him. He always wants to help. He won't change. That's why I said, okay. Anyway, going back to the definition or the terminologies, markup rate, net profit, overall cost, overhead, and then your PBM, which is your pharmacy benefits manager. This always comes up on the PTCB. Like, what is a PBM? Okay. Starting Wednesday next week, you got 2 new classes, inventory maintenance and law and ethics. I told Ms. J, I'm teaching law and ethics. Schedule's a little bit different. Okay. Inventory will be 1 hour. I'm sorry. Inventory will be 3 hours only for 2 weeks. 10 days times 3 is still 30 hours. Okay, but there's labs involved in there. You have inventory. You're going to use the software still. I chose law and ethics because there were a good number of students, not ours, or test takers, who failed because of the law part. Okay, and teaching 12 years, I pretty much have a good question bank from students that I wanted to share with you. Okay. I said, not a usual schedule because usually your classes go for 3 weeks. This one is scheduled to be inventory 3 hours for 2 weeks, 10 days only. That's still 30 hours. Law and ethics will be 1 hour for the first 10 days, but then 4 hours on your last week. That's how it was scheduled. So if you add that up, that's still 30 hours of didactic. It's the same. Okay, but you'll have more labs with Ms. J, but don't expect a lot of labs. Before I knock down all of these bottles and have them build a brand new pharmacy. They count. Okay. You might not have. Ms. J is looking at me like, I should probably do that. Yeah, I knock it down and then they strip all those labels. And then they count. There should be 100 in there because it's that brand new pharmacy, which you may experience. Because usual experience is you count what's on hand, right? Whatever is there. But the project I usually give my students is we're building a brand new pharmacy. So every single bottle will have 100 or depending on what the bottles. And then just so you know, this is arranged alphabetically by generic name. Okay, that's why it's sad when pharmacists who are working in retail say, just as long as they can read. Oh, right? Because it's arranged alphabetically by generic name. During my time, ancient time, drugs are not arranged alphabetically by generic name. They're arranged by disease state or by system or by therapeutic class. Meaning, if you're weak on drugs, weak on pharmacology, you're going to be lost in your own pharmacy. So they're grouped antihypertensives or beta blockers. They're grouped that way, not alphabetically by generic name. Okay, so it's so much easier now. Plus, with the computerization, the system, the barcoding, everything's so much easier. I'm going to tell you exactly how much you have on hand, which when we do this math, it's kind of tied to that inventory, okay? The curriculum is programmed in such a way that each sequence makes sense connected to the other, okay? Law and ethics, we'll find, we'll check again the schedule for March. There is a board hearing, right, coming up March, and it's gonna be here in Las Vegas. So I always take my students to a board hearing, okay, in March. It is more interesting if, I don't want that pharmacists are in trouble or techs are in trouble, but it's interesting to be attending something like that where you will see the decision and why the board came up with that decision. You're gonna get your license back, you're not gonna get your license back, it's that, okay? So there's one happening in Vegas, we just have to check the exact date. And are you okay with that? That's another field trip that we're gonna do since it's law and ethics. Yes. We're gonna see each other. It's a hotel. Looks like they changed the venue, but I'll double check. When I got the mail, it was a different, it looks like a different venue or a different name of the hotel unless somebody bought that hotel. Still in the same spot, but a different name. Anyway, you have to be in scrubs there.
Oh, okay, I was about to ask that.
Yes, you'll have to be in scrubs. And we still signed the field trip waiver. Anyway, so all of your classes are connected. I wanted to do that law and ethics part because of the so many tips I can give you for the PTCB. Okay, and you'll have a project in law and ethics. Right? Each one, no group up because of the topics. You're going to research on Emily's law. Okay, who is Emily? Why is she? Why is there a law named after her? You're going to research on the Summerlin baby case. Alyssa Shin. We're gonna talk about the different organizations. That's for law and ethics. Law and ethics is kind of similar to your pharmacy tech groups combined. Okay. Going back. Profit margin, and turnover rate. I leave this to you. This is simple, very simple. You saw it, okay? Very, very simple. What I'd like to do now is for you to think back, okay? Because I do believe everybody's a salesman. Do you know that? You always say, I don't want sales. Oh, I don't want to sell. Okay. Remember, I worked in the pharmaceutical industry, and that's where I learned that. Everybody's a salesman. At one point in our lives, you sold something. Yes, no? Yes. Do you know that as a baby, you're already a salesman? How? Very good. The mommy answered first right away. You want a bottle, you cry. You want your diaper changed, you cry, right? That's being a salesman. Okay, now I want you to think back. Doesn't matter what it is. Just don't tell me you sold crack, please. I'm going to escort you out real fast. I'm just joking. Oh, that's the time.
I'm not affiliated.
Okay, so we're not judgmental or anything like that. People change. Remember, I brought in a student. Okay. So, okay, think about what you sold. We're going to talk about that. How much you bought it for initially, and then how much you sold it. Okay, that's how I'm going to identify how much did you buy it for. The terminologies now. I'm going to break down the terminologies. Okay? I remember, just to give you examples, a student saying her prom dress. Somebody bought something from eBay and resold it. A bike from eBay resold it for more. Okay. So used or not used, it's nice if it's brand new so that you know the actual price you bought it for. Okay. I know if it's reused, it's kind of hard, but that's where the depreciation terminology comes into play. Like, I bought a car for this much, right? It's used, and I sold it for this much. How could you sell it for more when it's older now, right? Because I put in something, okay? That's how we're going to talk about the terminology. Think. Who wants to go first? Yes, Maddie.
So I bought, there's a game, a card game called Magic the Gathering.
Magic to Gathering? I don't know.
It's like Pokemon. It's like a card playing.
Oh, okay.
And I bought cards at a garage sale, and one of the cards was, I mean, they didn't even know what they had. It was worth like $1,000.
What? That game?
Just one card.
One card? What's the name of the game?
Magic the Gathering.
Magic to Gathering. Oh my God. So you're at a garage sale. So how much? Well,
So I bought like a whole bunch of
Someone's
cards for like
trash,
20 bucks.
maybe somebody else's trash, or you know.
Mhm.
I bought it for, you bought
I
it
bought like a whole bunch of them for like 20 bucks. And then I
Did you
looked
sell
through
them or did you
all.
just keep them, hold on to it?
I sold them because then I bought a whole bunch of more cards with that one
Oh
card.
my God. Okay, so if you got, how many did you buy? So I wanted to break it down.
It was probably like 300 cards,
You bought 300 cards for how much?
20 bucks.
20 bucks.
Mhm.
20 bucks. I'm prepared. $20 for 300 cards. Okay. How much did you sell it for? You can say per card. It comes in handy.
Most cards aren't worth like more than a couple dollars, but
That's it.
that one specific card, I think I sold it for like 900 at the shop.
$900 for one card. There's a math involved in this, Phil, which I'd like to cover too for the terminology part. Okay, this is not usual, but it's still money math. Okay, so she got 300 cards for $20. If I'm to know the per unit, $20 is your what? Cost of goods sold. Okay, I'm gonna talk about basic accounting later or bookkeeping. You want to know price per unit, so you have to divide 300 divided by 20.
Wouldn't it be backwards?
Is it 300 divided by 20 or 20 divided by?
20 divided
It
by
has to be 20 divided by 300 because it's dollars per unit. Very good. Okay. So it's $20 divided by 300 equals, each card would be 7 cents. Is it 7 cents?
Yeah.
0.07. Each card is 7 cents. Okay. She said, say for example, she didn't sell the others, or sold it for $1, or she just trashed it. Okay. That pertains to unsold inventory. Okay. That's not always the case, right? That hey, it's okay for you not to sell it. However, I wanted to focus on this one card. She sold for $900. Okay. So you can put a 7 cent value on 299 cards. Can you do that? 7 cents times 299. Yes. What is it? 209.30 cents. At the beginning, you're gonna think about that. Oh my God, I wasted 209. You said, okay. Is that correct? 7 cents times 299. Can you do it? 0.07 times 299 equals.
20 point.
Yeah, I did by 7. That's my math.
That's 20.93 waste. Right? You're gonna think about that as, oh my God, or almost a whole amount, $20. Okay, because we did 0.7, 0.07, not 0.66. That's why it's a little bit more than $20. You're gonna think, oh my God, I just wasted $20. Okay. But then she focused on one card, which they didn't know the value, but she did. Sold it for 900. So say for example, 299 cards cost nothing. Let's just do, you sold it for $900. Trash 299 cards. Focus on that one. $900. How much did you buy it for? Let's just put that $20 on that one card value. $20. So this is your what? The price that you made, right? Minus $20. You still made what? What was that? $880. So there are two ways to look at it. If you're the vendor, okay, you're gonna look at this as your sales, right? She made money, so this is her sales for $900. as a businessman, she had to pay $20 for that. So this 880 is what? This is your gross profit at this point. How many terminologies do they use at this point? Cost of goods sold, sales. This is still your cost of goods sold, and then your gross profit. Why did I say gross profit? You can just say profit, yeah? But there are two types. There's a gross profit and there's a net profit. Okay. Gross profit is the profit before expenses. Okay. So in real life, if you have a business, you have expenses, which includes your overhead. Okay. Your utilities, salaries that you pay pharmacists and pharmacy technicians, or your cashier, or everybody else. Okay. Or the shipping cost. All right. Sometimes some companies have a terminology called income before taxes. Then they take out the taxes and then they say income after taxes, and that's their net profit. Okay. So they take out all of the expenses, and then usually expenses amount to about 50 to 60%. That's your operating cost. Okay. She's a real business, about 60 to 80% of this is gone. Okay. And that's the net profit. Okay. But looking at this, even if she trashed 299 cards, was she profitable or not? She still is profitable, even if she just tossed those 299 cards. Okay. What can I equate this to? What kind of business? Not that they're going to manufacture 300 airplanes, but think about Boeing. Right? How many airplanes do you think they sell in a year? Not many, because it's a high ticket item. Okay. So some companies are built that way. Okay. Well, some companies manufacture so much or buy so much in what? Low ticket items, but sell a lot. Okay. And sometimes we talk about, when we talk about business, like, how do you want to do it? The Chinese way or a different way? What do you mean by the Chinese way? Chinese like to sell a lot with very little margin for profit. Okay, that's why I said, how do you want to sell it? Or you want to sell just 5 items with so much markup. Okay, a lot of you will be surprised how much your drugs cost. Okay, if you're privy to that, not everyone is, depending on your position, and then how much you're selling it for. Okay. But let's talk about this so that the terminologies will start getting applied and start sinking in more. So we use more terminology. So I call it baddie. It's not so common. Okay. An extraordinary because we're going to trash 299. Okay. Think of that as your inventory that's been moved. Okay. Not because it doesn't have value, but that's a specialty item. Okay. Any more example? Like a little bit more common. I bought this at the store, like a purse or something.
Did you sell it at that?
She did for $900 that one.
I have another card that I'm sitting on that's 1,000.
Yeah.
Where did you sell it? eBay?
I just went to the shop because I was 16. I was like, I want to just buy more cards.
Yeah.
So I just sold it at the.
I probably would just be that person who's tossing because I don't know, unless my son stops me and says, Mom!
I'd be the same way.
Yeah, because I don't know. Yeah, but he knows his Pokemon, so. I like people who collect. I collect shoes that sit in the damn belly. Oh, yes. Anyway, so anything that you bought, just simple, and then you sold or resold. Alyssa. Oh, Stasha? What is it? You make soap bars? Okay, cool. I love soap. I made soap too. Okay. It's one of my favorite presents.
The ingredients, you're gonna have to break it down altogether. It has to be maybe like $4.
This is a good example, okay? So she said, so this is where the ingredients come into play. This is a creation. So this is more of a, you make it from scratch. It's not a reselling. So it's not the same as a pharmacy. You cannot equate it, another special one. But we can use the terminology still. Okay. soap. What about soap? All the ingredients combined, she said, would be $4. These are the materials for one soap or ingredients. Okay. For one soap. How much do you sell this for?
I only sell them for like 12, depending on the size.
Well, sales. Okay, sales. We're gonna look at it this way. She made a profit of $8. Is that correct? Gross profit. However, if you're really gonna think as a businessman, you should put a price tag on your time and effort, and that's where the overhead terminology comes into play. The salary comes into play. Can you follow? She manufactured, that's why there's this part, which is materials and ingredients, which is still the terminology, cost of goods sold. So going back to basic accounting or bookkeeping, the formula is sales less cost of goods sold equals gross profit minus expenses, where your overhead operating costs will be in, minus expenses equals your net profit. Who did bookkeeping or accounting in high school as an elective? I did. I chose that as an elective. And of course, I did financial accounting and financial management in my MBA school. So anyway, but this is a simple formula. Okay, very simple. The terminologies are applicable. Okay. But we haven't talked about the markup yet, and I want to incorporate that in Sasha's example. How much was her markup? Which one amongst these numbers? This one is her markup. Follow? Because at this point, perspective is she's the businessman. She's the seller. Okay? Can you give me an example this time where you bought something at a discount and you're so happy you waited for Thanksgiving or Black Friday and you've been eyeing that purse, eyeing that, or eyeing something, an appliance or a TV, and you bought it for less. Okay, so markup, I use terminologies that the students use, which I'm going to give you as another packet. Markup is increasing the price. Okay, but you got to think that that perspective is coming from the seller or the business owner. When you say discount, the favor is on the buyer. Okay, so does anyone have an example? Something you eyed for a long time and then finally it's at a discount. Incorporated another terminology. Okay. Alyssa.
First, like, we had first gotten like a new shipment of like blankets,
Yeah.
and there was like this really soft blanket. It was super cute. It was
Plush.
blue. It was like my favorite color. Like, oh my goodness, I gotta get it. But I was like, not gonna pay this right now. So I like waited. I put it on hold in like our little pool bin. I went there.
But do you have employee discount too? 'Cause that's applicable as a
I did
discount.
have to play discount, but it went on clearance. So I was like, well, like,
Okay, so let's talk about the selling price, another terminology. Selling price, what's the selling price, the original selling price of that blanket? Yeah, let's talk about that blanket
it
now.
was, I think, 24 maybe?
24, let's do 25. $25 is selling price. How much, now you're a buyer, huh? That was the selling price of business. How much did you buy it for?
I think
9?
19.
Oh, 19, I mean, so
20.
20. So you bought it for $20, okay? You're the customer this time, bought it for 20. How much discount did you get by doing that?
I get a 20.
No, how much in dollars?
$5.
$5 is the discount, take now terminology amount, because it's in dollars. Okay, you hearing me? Okay. Students get confused on this one, that's why I'm clarifying. Okay, that's the discount amount. In Stasha's example, $8 was her markup, okay, in money value. So we can say that's the markup amount as well. So we're gonna jump to percentage now, okay? This one, you're the buyer perspective. This one, seller perspective. Favor. You gotta make money as a seller. You want a discount as a buyer. You copy? All right, is that clear? $5 was her discount. Alyssa, do you know how much they bought it for as a buyer? No, you don't. So you don't know how much the cost of goods sold is, or hint, hint, wink, wink, another terminology, how much is the wholesale price? Here comes another terminology. As a buyer, you don't know that, right? So you have to remember that. So in the calculation, that shouldn't be included because you don't know that, right? As a buyer. Markup amount, discount amount. Let's talk about markup percentage. When you say markup percentage, this $8 is what percent of what? You're the seller, so you know that. Right. If you're the seller, you know the cost of goods sold or the wholesale price, right? So this $8, if you're asked of markup percentage, what is the percentage of this in reference to what? To your cost of goods sold or wholesale price. Can you follow? Because you're the seller, okay? How much is this percentage-wise based on this? So if I'm gonna put that in a formula, my percentage markup, formula in it. My percentage markup is going to be based on the markup amount. This is your dollar one, right? Over what? Your wholesale price. Since it's percentage, what do you do? Times 100. Can you follow? In other words, if you're asked, what is the markup percentage? How many times is this more than how much you bought it for as a business owner? As a business, can you follow? The terminologies I'm clarifying because it gets confusing to many. Because a lot of us have a consumer mindset, not a business mindset. That's why I said this terminologies. This favors the business owner. The discount favors the buyer. So you got to flip the switch back. Okay. What is the answer here? If this is the formula, markup amount, which is $8, correct? Divided by $4, which is her wholesale price or cost of goods sold. I said it's the same. Times 100. What is the answer? It is correct. It's 200%. Why is that? Why is that correct? Because $8 is double her wholesale price, her cost of goods sold. So markup percentage is 200%. Can you follow? Yes? Okay. Gets a little bit more confusing once I teach the tricks on discount and markup in fractions or decimals. Okay. Sometimes the students don't get it fast. Like when I shop with my mom, I do like the discount fast shortcut. But most people don't understand that. They want to add this and this and this, but I'll tell you that later. I'm just on terminologies right now, okay? Did you understand why markup is 200% markup percentage? Because it's double how much the seller bought it for. Is that clear? Now let's jump to discount percentage. Oh, what is this time? Oh, you gotta flip as a buyer now. Again, okay? How can you use this formula if you don't know what the wholesale price is? You can't, right? So you're gonna use a different variable. In Alyssa's example, the selling price was $25. She bought it for $20, so she got a $5 discount. So the question was, what is this discount percentage? Students' terminology, discount means decreasing the value, okay? Decreasing the amount, okay? What do you think is the formula for discount percentage or percentage discount? It will be what? The discount amount over what? You're the buyer. How are you going to know the wholesale price or the cost of goods sold? They're not going to tell you, right? That's why I said you got to flip the switch. The selling price or how much they originally had it for. You follow? Times 100. So let's solve this. The discount amount is 500. What percentage is that of how much they wanted, basically? You follow? 25 times 100. Answer is. And what did Alyssa said? How much was her discount? 20% discount. Did it match? It matched. Okay. So you have to remember that the markup is in favor of the seller or the business owner or the business. The discount is in favor of the seller. So if you're trying to think of the formula, you can't use the wholesale price or wholesale amount or cost of goods sold because as a buyer, you're not privy to that. Get it? Okay. So the formula for markup percentage is the markup amount in dollars over your wholesale price or your cost of goods sold times 100 because it's percentage. Your formula for discount percentage is your discount amount over the original selling price times 100. Is that clear? Okay. I want to teach you a shortcut, okay, before I give you some of the practice. Okay. We're not yet on pharmacy, we're still on regular items that we have. In your packet, the terminologies I used, the second packet that you're getting, is based off students' words through time. Okay, it says there markup means increasing the price. Yeah, in a formal or a textbook, you wouldn't see that. Those are codes, and I use the students' words so that it'll click better, so that you'll understand better. Markup percentage is the percent that the price is increased. Okay, retail price, the price that the consumer pays or the original price they want. Wholesale price, I need 10 copies. Wholesale price. Price that the store pays or originally paid for, if you want that. Discount, anyone who's got double, I made 10 copies. Discount is decreasing the price, students' words. Discount percentage is percentage that the price is decreased. Can you double check? You see that? All these terminologies on the second packet is based off of students' words, how they remembered the formula, how they remember the terminologies. Okay. Did you get all the terminologies I covered at this point? Yes? Are you ready for shortcuts for discount and markup? Okay. Let's talk. Sometimes it confuses others. That's why. Have your calculators ready. Quick markup and discount calculation. Here we go, shortcut. Let's do discount first because all of us are consumers. Okay. So let's go discount first. Remember that a whole is 100% and is equivalent to 1 and is equivalent to 1.0. I know, drop the trailing 0, but I'm trying to point out something here. Percentage, right? Whole number, decimal, fraction. Okay, trying to point out that a whole number can be expressed in decimal, in fractions, and in percentage. Okay, they're interchangeable. Okay. So there's one whole that's 100%. Okay. If I say, we're consumers, all consumers right now, okay? You're eyeing a purse for $230. Okay. It's marked down now to 25% off. 25% off. The store had it on a yellow tag, whatever it is. 25% off. Okay. I will calculate how much I'm going to pay. Let's not talk about tax. It's 8.1. How much is it right now, tax? 8.06. Okay, 8.06. In the bottom, okay? That's your tax. Sales tax, okay? I'll just put that on the side for now, okay? If I'm at the store, I saw this purse for $230, okay? 25% off, the way I do it right away on my calculator on my phone would be 230 times 0.75. Who does their math like that? Very good. See, I told you it's not many. It's not many. Again, what did I say? The way I do it is 230 times 0.75. What was the answer? 172.5. Of course, or you're going to add the tax right away. Right? You're going to add the tax. But if you just want to know, estimate without the tax how much you're going to pay for, that's how I'm going to do my math. Okay. 230 times 0.75. 172.5 is what I'm going to pay plus tax. That's what I'm going to tell myself. And then the next question is, am I willing to pay for that or not? Still okay? Just as an example, right? But did you know how I did it? I mean, you saw how I did it, right? That's how, Ellie, you raised your hand, right? And Ethan would do it if they're at the store. Okay? Why did we do it that way, Ethan?
That's the remaining.
It goes back to this. How did that happen? Because 100 minus 25 is actually 75. But you don't want to go through the entire process of times 100. So what we did was 230 times 0.75. Did you get it? Because I just want to know how much I will pay for after the discount. Okay, let's do some practice. Okay, how much are you gonna pay for after the discount? So example, $200, 10% discount. How much am I gonna pay for after the 10% discount? What is it? 180. How am I gonna do that? 200 times 0.8 in my head, 0.9, I'm sorry, 10%, right?
Yeah.
200 times 0.9 in my head. That's 180. Did you get it? Okay, that's a shortcut. This comes in handy in pharmacy because there are word problems wherein you have to calculate it this way before you could continue. Okay. I know most people do it this way. So 230, my original example, they will get 25% of that first, right? 230 times 0.25 is 57.5. And then what they're gonna do is to go back here, 230 minus 57.5 before they could get this. There's an extra step, right? The reason I'm teaching you the trick or the tip is because a lot of students forget to add it back or subtract it back. Okay? But you're free to use whatever at this point. I'm just teaching you. So say for example, 20% discount. What's your multiplier? Based on the trick, on the shortcut.
0.8.
0.8. But remember, that's how whatever answer you get is how much you're gonna pay for after the discount. You follow? Okay. 17% discount. What's your multiplier? 83 times 0.83, right? Are you following? Okay. 22% discount. What's your multiplier? 22% discount. 0.78. And again, whatever the answer is or the product is how much you will pay for after the discount. Flip the switch, flip the switch, flip the switch. We are now sellers, we are now sellers, we are now sellers. Markup now. What do you think is going to happen in reverse if I'm a business owner? I want a 25% markup. What's my multiplier? Times 1.25. And that's how much I want the buyers to pay me. Do you follow? Because it's what? The whole plus 25. I want to get back the original I paid for plus more. You see how the shortcut works better? And in some, I know there's 2 questions in their finals. That's why I'm teaching you this. So it makes so much more sense when you know the shortcut. Okay. Again, we're a seller, we're the business owner. I want a 50% markup. What's my multiplier? If you want to use the shortcut?
1.5.
Times 1.5. And that is, again, the amount I want the buyers to pay for, which is actually the selling price terminology or the sales I'm going to get as the business owner, as a seller. Is that clear? Okay, let's do some practice. You have practice sheets on that second packet that I gave you. Start working on them. And again, the terminologies I gave you are words that I used from the students as I was teaching this math class because I was trying to simplify it for many. And sometimes in the past, when I show the trick, they get so confused, okay? In a markup, most people will do is they're gonna get the percentage first of how much they want to add, and then add it back to the original wholesale price. First question, let me know if I'm gonna fire you or hire you, okay? If you're losing me money as a business owner, I'm gonna fire you. Your answer is wrong. If you help me make money as a business owner, I'm gonna keep you or hire you. Let's go. You are a new store manager for a local department store. You have 2 employees making mistakes in their calculations, which is very common, okay? That just tells you how bad what our education system is. You think I'm gonna say how bad students are at math, that's second. But it boils down to the root cause, okay? It is sad, that's why I volunteer and I give my time. Just like I created a curriculum for high school so that we could help them out. Better education system. Now, your job as a manager is to show them their errors. I don't like how it's worded, and make corrections, okay? Show them what they did wrong. That's what I Yours just like, the way I use it for my son. What did you do wrong? Figure it out. Okay. Don't stress about not getting 100. Figure it out what you did wrong. Learn from it. If you can't, call me. I'll explain it to you if I can. Okay. But most of the time he'll say, you can, mom. And most of the time he doesn't want to ask help. Okay. So the store bought a shirt at a wholesale price of the terminology. Oh, sorry, not all. I erased it. The store bought a shirt at a wholesale price of $15. Wholesale price is the same as your cost of goods sold, and sells the shirt for $25. What is the amount of the markup? Employee one said the markup is $40. Yes or no? No, I will fire employee one because the markup is not $40. What is the markup? Jaden. Who said $10? Hands up. Correct. And how did you do that, Jaden? 25 minus 15 is $10. Correct. Who got $10? Hands up. We're still on regular items, huh? Not yet pharmacy. Tomorrow we do pharmacy. Okay. Scenario number 2. I am going to keep Jaden because she's correct. Scenario number 2. What is the percent markup for the shirt in scenario 1? Employee 1 said he divided $40 by 25. He said the markup is 160%. Who said this is correct? Who said this is not correct? And so, okay. Maddie, the question again is markup percentage. So I gave you the formula for markup percentage, right? Which is, what's the formula? The markup amount over the wholesale price. You gotta think business owner markup in favor of business owner. So what do I know? How much I bought it for from the manufacturer in China, in India, in Vietnam, wherever it is, in Guatemala, okay, in Mexico, business owner. Okay. So how do we get the markup percentage, Maddie?
I did $10 divided by $15.
Correct.
times 100,
And that should be
66.67%.
whole number, if I want a whole number.
67%.
Correct. 67% is the markup, which means 2/3. Good. What's that? Ice?
I think that's the ice. That might have been ice.
2/3 is the markup. I think because I unplugged the fridge, it started melting. Okay. And I am recording. Anyway, welcome to real life. 67% or 66.7% is the markup percentage. You getting it? That's why I wanted this practice in real life first. Hands up. Who got this one? Okay, good job. I'm all keeping you at this point. What was that show? Apprentice? Fire. Okay. Scenario number 3. The store buys a ring at a wholesale price of $200. So you gotta flip business owner and the store, right? Okay. Your percent markup is 100%. Find the retail price. Employee 2 said that the retail price is $300. Who said employee 2 is correct? Hands up. Who said it's wrong? Hands up. Well, where are the hands? Oh, I'm still working on it. When I see that, I want the markup to be another whole. What would my shortcut be in the calculation, Ethan? Times 2. 200 times 2. Because I want the same amount. I'm doubling it, right? Of course, I want to recoup that initial cost first. So what is the answer, Ethan?
It's wrong and it's market.
Correct. $200 times 2 is what I do on my calculator because the the owner wants 100% markup. A lot of this is the reason why I'm teaching you the shortcut, because a lot of you will just multiply this by a whole And then you'll forget to add it back to the original price. That's why this shortcut works. I mean, for me, okay? It's still up to you. If you don't forget to add it back, that's fine. But through my 12 years of teaching, students forget once it's a word problem. So again, scenario 3, the answer is 400. 400 should be the final retail price of the ring. Can you follow? Okay. Did you do this in economics? Money math? Yes? Yeah, the terminologies. Good. But not everyone take economics, right? Not everyone. Is it an elective?
Mhm.
It's an elective.
At my school.
I never saw it.
I think this is one of the things I wish they teach in school, financial literacy. Especially in high school, how to file your taxes, how to, all these things. I'd love.
I mean, I had like.
Well, if that happens, I'm gonna leave you and I'm gonna teach high school, okay? And some schools do. I shouldn't say everyone. Okay, scenario 4. Look at you guys. This is just money math. You understand how I had a student, her last sequence was sequence 1, and she failed this math. Imagine that. I said, how could you fail money math? Right? That's why I said I wanted a new recording. I wanted to, of course, I was planning this whole class. I was trying to think of what students said. I was going back to that 8 years ago, that one student who failed this class, but she bombed one quiz, really bombed it. And it's the discount and how much is the discount? How much would you pay for that question? Okay. So scenario number 4, let's do this. Scenario number 4. The store is having a sale and it's selling a $20 pair of jeans for $15. This one, it's in reverse. Find the discount amount and the discount percentage. Employee 2 says that the discount amount is $5. Then she says she divided 15 by 20 to find the discount percentage. She said that the discount percentage is 75%. Do I hire or do I fire this employee? Do I keep or do I fire this employee? Again, if you want to stick to the formula for percentage discount is the discount amount over the original selling price times 100. How much was the discount first? $5. So if you want to stick to the formula, that will be your numerator. And what will be your denominator? 20. So with that, if you stick to the formula, what's the answer for the percentage discount? 25%. You see how this can be easily confused? Even that employee said it's 75, because that's the remainder of the whole, because she used the wrong numbers. Can you follow? Okay, now the guided practice, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is homework. Okay, tomorrow, this has to be ready, not 2 days after. Okay, I want to go over this because it's time. Okay, who understood the terminologies? Yeah, better than when you did high school financial. You didn't have it?
Yeah. I was like, my school never taught me this.
I don't think my school taught me any of this either.
I was like, they taught us personal finance, you know, like how to balance it.
They did that? You can do that.
But they didn't do all this.
What's that, California or Nevada?
Missouri.
Missouri? That's good. Who had some money math classes? What is it specifically, Janine?
Personal finance and statistics.
Wow! Is that an elective that you chose?
It's like a math class you can take, so at like, you know how you have like the advanced school and normal,
Yeah.
you have to have a 4th math class, and that is either that one or calculus.
Okay, Nevada?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, what about you? I know you're from Silverado.
It's a calculus.
Calculus. Oh, you chose that.
I was like, I can actually use this.
Yes, you can actually use this one in real life, and a lot of you are working retail. But did you see how I said, okay, Flip, you're the business owner. Flip, you're the buyer. You have to know that, and that's my tip. You don't know how much they bought it for from China, Mexico, Thailand, wherever that is. So you can't use that variable if you want the formula, okay? Tomorrow, have the rest of the guided practice ready. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao. Oh, you're out tomorrow. Let me just end this. Oh, you're fine.
What I didn't